Skyrim is filled with some amazing things, and I mean all kinds of things, from stealth assassinations to sweet rolls and probably some other stuff, but not all of Skyrim is great. As a matter of fact, there is some really dumb stuff in this game, and quite frankly, it would be rude of me not to point it out. So today we are talking about the 5 dumbest things in Skyrim. After a hard day's adventuring, there is nothing better than a good night's rest at a local inn. And the old Heraldon Inn is as good as any, I guess.
You'll be looking to rent Tiber Septim's room, I take it?
Wait, Tiber Septim's room? Now you got me intrigued.
That's right. This inn has the very bed the great general slept in on his first night as old Heraldon's liberator.
Wow, this must be a pretty amazing bed. Alright, I'll take it. Hold up a second. This is the bed? This is crap! My grandma could build better beds than this. I mean, I get that it's been like 700 years since Tiber Septim stopped by, but I was expecting something that's literally anything else. Also, what was that you just said?
As good as it was hundreds of years ago.
As good as it was, huh? As good as it was. This bed looks like it was built by a chimpanzee! I mean, if you had told me that it had aged a bit since Septim's visit, I wouldn't have been that upset, honestly. You can't expect a bed to be impervious to age, but to tell me that this bed is as good as it was, and then to show me this, it makes me think you're trying to scam me. Tiber Septim never was here, was he? Just like how Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy either. You can't fool me! Except, as it turns out, she isn't lying. Tiber Septim really did lay down on this hunk of junk. So, I guess that's good? Don't get me wrong though, it's still stupid. The Bards College has gotta be the dumbest questline in the entire game. For one, the quests themselves are pretty stupid. I mean, when you think of a Bards College, you think of singing and dancing and making music. You generally don't think of dungeon diving, but unfortunately that is literally all you do in the Bards College, fetching dumb instruments for dumb bards. But what really puts this college into Dumbville is in this game of Skyrim, you can't actually be a bard. And in a game all about doing whatever you want, it's kinda stupid. Yeah, I see you, Mikhail, playing that instrument. First you terrorize Carlotta, and then you take my occupation. I'll get you, Mikhail. I'll get you.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're gone.
What's even worse though is the training that the teachers do provide at the Bards College, because none of it has to do with being a bard. They don't even try and pretend like it has to do with bards. Instead it's things like smithing. I mean really, smithing. That's what you're gonna teach me at the Bards College. This place is a joke. Although I do have to admit, the festival burning of King Olaf is kinda neat. There are plenty of sweet rolls to eat, and there's even a burning of, King Olaf.
I like the pretty lights.
You said it, kid. Although, I'm not sure what lights you're talking about.
Elisif has declared the burning of King Olaf should become a weekly event.
Wait, what? I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a pretty good time here, but a weekly event? That's insane! Alright, I take it back. Everything about the Bards College is stupid. If you have ever stopped by Candlehearth Hall and asked the bartender why the inn has that name, she will give you a rather interesting answer.
Did you see the candle above the fire upstairs? It was lit 163 years ago. Nobody knows why it still burns.
A candle that always burns, huh? You know, that would be interesting if it weren't for the fact that every candle in Skyrim always burns. You haven't noticed that? You haven't noticed that every single fire, whether it be a candle or a fireplace or a torch, continues to burn endlessly? I mean, what's wrong with you? Just look at the fireplace just under the candle you're talking about. It's always burning. So I don't think your stupid candle is really that special, honestly. And yes, I realize that it's a game and that if I used my imagination, then it would make sense. But personally, I don't think that's a good enough excuse, because you can't make a game where every single fire burns for eternity and then pick one individual candle and say, yeah, this one just keeps burning, isn't that strange? No, it's not strange. In fact, it seems quite normal in context. Maybe if there was some quest involved that provided more backstory to the candle itself and took the focus off the fire, then maybe I would give it a pass. But there isn't. Instead, it's just a dumb, stupid candle. Frickin' burns endlessly, my butt. If you have a castle, a good way to protect it is to post some guards on the walls. However, in Whiterun, that would be pointless because the walls are slightly too tall to see what's on the other side. And honestly, this seems really dumb to me because how are you supposed to know if an army is about to attack you if you can't even see the army coming? I mean, seriously, who was the architect here? Andre the Giant? But what makes this truly dumb is despite them being slightly too tall, they are still short enough that I can jump up and look out into the world beyond. And what do I see? Utter crap! A half-rendered landscape that would make a PlayStation 2 game look like real life. And honestly, I find that even stupider than the walls being a weird height, because if you're gonna let me see over the edge, then at least put a little effort into it, otherwise why even make them short at all? The devs could have just raised up the wall so you can't look over. Quite frankly, that would make more sense to me. They're already too tall, so it's not like they bought themselves some believability here. But nope, instead they decided to make the walls twice as pointless, and therefore, twice as dumb. Video game developers seem to love adding in unnecessary and pointless mechanics into their video games. Is it to increase the amount of playtime? Is it because they think players enjoy tedious and boring tasks? Honestly, I don't really know. But what I do know is that the most pointless and therefore dumbest mechanic I have ever encountered in any game has gotta be cooking in Skyrim. Now at first glance, cooking actually seems to be rather helpful. You can make stews and roasted pheasant in order to regain your health and stamina, which is great if you're fighting a powerful enemy. The only problem is it barely restores your health at all. So what is a hapless adventurer to do if they want to stay alive? Oh, I don't know, how about fucking alchemy? You know, the other mechanic that not only regenerates your health and stamina completely with one potion, but also boosts your skills and gives you an edge in battle. I mean seriously, why would I ever waste my time hunting for pheasants when I could just pick a few shrubberies and make a full health potion? Not to mention that alchemy has a skill tree associated with it, so I can get better as I use it. Cooking doesn't have that, so why even include it at all? It's pointless, and it's dumb. Alright, so that concludes my rant for the day, and yes, I do realize that this list was kind of all over the place, but honestly, I just want an excuse to make fun of Tiber Septim's bed. I mean, come on, just look at that thing, what a joke. Anyway, if you want to hear me rant about more stuff, you can check out my video on the 5 most annoying things in video games, which yes, does feature Skyrim. Also, I will see you guys this Tuesday. Goodbye.